Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Heel Team 6 Wrestling is proud to present the Bodega Wrestling Podcast. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Larkin, one half of the Steve and Mike Show and 1/3 of the Bodega Wrestling Podcast, and welcome back to another edition of the Bodega Wrestling Podcast. And as always, I am on the line with my homie, the president of Heel Team 6, baby, all day, every day in the motherfucking building. Say that 5 times fast. I'm on the line with Chef. Chef, how's it going, my brother?
Bro, you just got me to smile because a lot of people have no idea, like, any of that what just went on, because a lot of people that I play Larkin sound bites to, he's been said that he's the greatest chef that's not chef. So people have no idea how funny these sound bites I get because I talk kind of crazy and, you know, he goes bonkers with it. And it's such a funny thing that he makes like little shots at me, but it's all fun and games. It's all funny. But I don't really want to say anything else. We did make a mistake the last time. We introduced somebody as a guest, and I think you should reintroduce this person the right way.
Well, of course, we have to introduce the latest addition and the newest addition to the Bodega Wrestling Podcast family. We're talking about Nicola from the UK. She's back to talk some more Impact Wrestling Rebellion prediction shows with us today. Nicola, welcome to the family and welcome back to the Bodega Wrestling Podcast, baby.
Thank you so much for having me back. What an honor to be a part of the family. Thank you.
I mean, like I said, we get the international flavor here, and when you pull no punches like Chef when it comes to Impact and pro wrestling, so it's a great dynamic.
It's like having two heels on one show. This is absolutely fucking amazing.
Exactly, and I'm in the handicap right here, but it's okay because. So, a lot has been going on in the pro wrestling world. A couple news tidbits. Well, we did see that Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, has left the WWE, and it has been confirmed for AEW's All or Nothing pay-per-view that Cody, his opponent, is going to be none other than his brother, Dustin Rhodes, which, I mean, we saw that in the WWE very briefly during the Goldust Stardust run, but this is the first time we're going to get, like, in a big stage, a big playing field, if you will, Cody versus Dustin one-on-one. It never happened at a WrestleMania, which was a true crime because they had teased it a lot in the WWE, but never gotten to, like, you know, the main status there. So now Cody's going to be doing it on AEW with Dustin. So I'm going to start with the ladies first. What do you think about Cody versus Dustin for AEW's All or Nothing pay-per-view, Nicola?
I think it's really cool because obviously they are brothers, so it's normal to see that, but obviously them two are very, very huge. So there's going to be a lot, and I know you love me saying these words, violence between the pair of them. So I couldn't actually predict because they're both very, very, very strong people. So I couldn't tell you out of the pair that who would win.
Okay, that's fine. You're fine. We just want to get the thoughts on this because this is like a first time ever that we're seeing them, like I mentioned, the big stage and actually no gimmicks, no Goldust, no Stardust. This is just Cody versus Dustin, brother versus brother, and a tribute to the American Dream. So, Chef, what do you think about this huge announcement for AEW's All or Nothing premiere event?
You know, I didn't know about it until yesterday, where Jorge was like, wow, you know, Twitter is bombing it and, you know, fans are shitting on it. And I was like, you know, who gives a fuck what these people think? You know what I mean? Like, if this is their company, this is what they're going to do. First off, why not? It's been something people wanted to see. Second off, I don't follow Cody. I don't follow Dustin. But I did see on Instagram a little video where he buried the Goldust gimmick. Like, he put it away and had this emotional little thing. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. But, I mean, let's face it. You know, I think these are two serious performers. People can shit on Goldust. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. But if it would have been in the hands of somebody else, I think Goldust could have been an amazing character because you've never seen anything like it. I just think, listen, all the matches are going to be more hype because other people are named. And I'm just going to call him Goldust. I'm more comfortable that way. You know, Goldust is older already. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure this guy can still go. And it would be absolutely fucking amazing if Goldust and Cody have like one of the best matches of the night and just, you know, let these stupid fans that think they're owners or think they're creative or think they're bookers, because everybody thinks they're, you know, like the smartest wrestling people in the world because they have a Twitter account. You know, it'd be really nice to slap all these marks in the face.
And I think you nailed it spot on there, Chef, because yes, he is older. He's in his mid-40s, but the dude is in great shape and he can still go. And I think you're going to be very surprised at what you see. I think it's going to be an encounter for the ages. And again, it's in tribute to the late, great American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So I think we're going to be in for something special. As far as something special. So with Impact Wrestling, and I just have to tie this in because I don't know if we talked about this last time, and I wanted to reiterate it. If we did, I apologize, but I wanted to have this come to the forefront here. So they did the AAA wrestling press conference. You know, they're going to be AAA. It's going to be at Madison Square Garden, which I think is awesome in September. They did note that if Johnny Impact is the world champion going into that, he'd be the first Impact world champion on a AAA show. And Scott D'Amore was at that press conference along with Johnny Impact and Miss Taya Valkyrie, and he said that Impact, I know we have the UK deal, that they have another international deal, which is awesome. He is looking to aim, like, you know, because they're on the pursuit as far as TV networks go here in the United States, you know, have the secondary shows like Explosion and whatnot be on that channel, but they're looking for a mothership, if you will, the main lead channel to go forward with Impact. So I got to ask you, and I'll start again with the lady here, Miss Nicola. What do you think about for you know, adding another channel, a main channel, as opposed to this whole pursuit stuff that everybody was up in arms about? What do you think, Nicola?
I think it's a. I'm not too sure. I'm on the fence with it because I don't actually know too much about it, if I'm totally honest. So, but I like the idea of it.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think about it, Chef? Because that was the latest in the in what happened with just AAA. Obviously huge for them going to Madison Square Garden, but that was the latest on the Impact side of things. What do you think?
I mean, two things I'll point out. One, I love the fact that the Garden's being used again because the Garden is older. Everybody wants to put everything in the Barclays, you know, so having more wrestling and having anything in the Garden, it's an amazing thing because, you know, I grew up there, you know, it's my home. So I love the fact that, you know, a big wrestling event will be there again. As for a TV product right now, here's the scary part is when they were on Pop, they were getting, even though people want to shit on the numbers, they were still getting a high enough number at times to still show that they were having a rating. Now, when you're on Pursuit, you don't even know what their rating is. You know what I mean? Like, the numbers are not there because they're not pulling numbers like that. And even Twitch numbers are down. So I don't know what they could try to tell a bigger company, you know, even if it's another Pop deal, something like that. If other ones weren't biting before, if there was no nibbles, how do you approach this again? So they got to put their best product, cram it all together right before, you know, saying, hey, look, this is where we're going. This is our direction. This is our roster. And, you know, hopefully it works. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can say whatever I want, but at the same time, I never want any of these companies to close because, you know, this is work for the boys and girls. So hopefully it works out, but I don't know. I don't know what their track record, how it's going to work.
I will add to that and saying, as three individuals on this call, three friends who have, you know, watched it since its inception, you know, its early days of this company. I look at it like this. Okay, so they're on Pursuit, right? When you look at a network that they could possibly go to, I look at like the WGNs, because WGN America here in the States has had wrestling programs on there. It's had WWE Superstars. It's had a lot of wrestling on there. The All-In pre-show was on WGN America. So if you look at it at the WGN America thing, I mean, when they were looking for the first TV deal, we didn't get no WGN, we didn't get no True TV, we didn't get to see a lot of what these fans in particular networks that they wanted. And I look at it as like, if you have a show like Ring Warriors, who has featured Impact-oriented talent like a Killer Cross and all these talents, even Jeff Cobb, who is now the Ring of Honor television champion, and Ring Warriors was taped in advance, and now it's on Amazon and Hulu, but they gave a slot open to that at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, so it has that Saturday morning wrestling feel to it. If this company, that a lot of people are kind of like, they don't really know what it is or they're very unsure of, they gave them a TV deal on Saturday mornings, and Impact is not on that. I mean, what does that tell you for the landscape of Impact? And I think I'd hold to what you said there, Chef, and I'd heed to your sentiments that I truly wish them the best. I don't want to see nothing happen to them, but I think it's going to be a long process. And truly, again, just to reiterate, I really wish them nothing but the best. I think that's the overall best, pun intended, to say about it. How about you?
No. I completely agree. You know, like I said, you wish the best for these things. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, isn't Pursuit owned by Anthem?
Yes, it is.
So you got to see. That's what I try to tell people. When people sit there and because we deal with a certain group of people that like to always just fanboy out. But when you think about it, they obviously had no other option than to put it on their own network. They own that network. How hard is it to put some shit on their own shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the part that it frustrates me. Obviously, your product wasn't, I don't want to even use the word good enough. Obviously, other companies didn't want to invest in whatever they seen going forward because they were probably sitting there looking at numbers keep dropping, and they were like, holy shit, this is really bad. Numbers on TV aren't going to reflect what happens in the ring. I don't know why fans don't tune in. I don't know why people shit on it. I don't know why fanboys fanboy out. Those are questions for individual people. But at the end of the day, if you couldn't get a TV deal when your numbers were roughly, just say before they dropped down to like 90 to 100,000 views, when it was around the 265 to 310, when it was fluctuating back and forth, how come nobody was biting then? And now you look at it and you're going to say, well, we don't even get a rating, but yeah, we're going to get a big TV deal. I hope they do, but if they didn't bite before, why would they bite now?
And with what Chef is saying, I have to put some respect on somebody's name because, I mean, we're going at Pursuit and we're just like, yeah, and we're talking about our overall opinions. But when Chef also thinks of Pursuit, he thinks of his boy Jimmy Houston Outdoors, and Jimmy Houston talking about some Missouri Sugar Baby and kissing some bass. So we got to put some respect on Jimmy Houston's name.
Bro, love it. Now we can go to the next thing because I was definitely going to say Jimmy Houston's name, but you just murdered it.
Well, I got you to thank for that because I'm like, this dude is great. Like, he's a character. He's catching the bass. Oh, I love it. So, moving on. The other news that we had from Impact, it looks like Gursinder Singh, who was originally a part of the Desi Hit Squad, has asked for his release. Now, this is a guy who was signed in late 2017, I believe, for Impact Wrestling. We didn't see him as a part of the Desi Hit Squad almost a mere year later, and they kicked him out. Now we got Raj Singh, who is the son of Gama Singh, Gama Singh, as a part of the Desi Hit Squad. As a part of the Desi Hit Squad. So, I mean, you got Raj in there and someone else who may be coming in because we got to talk about it. Chef, I'm talking about your boy. He was in NXT. He looks to be coming back to Impact Wrestling. I'm talking about Mahabali Shera.
Listen, I'm so excited for Mr. Mahabali Shera. You know, like, as soon as I heard he was coming back, I was like, yo, you got to throw him in the Desi Hit Squad. We all know I am not a fan of the Desi Hit Squad. But as soon as you throw fucking Mahabali Shera in there, that tune will change. I'll sing to a different song. I will definitely sit here, do my whole little Mahabali Shera dance when the music plays and all that good shit. But, I mean, what better way? It just sucks because I wish they would have, if I think that guy would have stayed, and you know me, I don't want to fuck up international people's names because I'm really, really good at fucking up people's names. If he would have stayed and you would put Mahabali Shera, you could have built them where these two guys were they were like the tag team and he was like the enforcer, the bodyguard, the muscle. You could have had them as beasts. You know what I mean? Mahabali is freaking huge right now. He's a beast. They could have went from, jobbers to, because let's face it, Impact did nothing with them. They had some cool, vignettes and things like that, but they did nothing with them. That could have changed with Shera. Shera could have came in, help these guys out, win matches and all this other stuff. And it could have translated really well. But now you're looking at, and I think, I always forget his other name, but I know his name is Hakeem Zayn.
Yes, Rohit Raju.
Yeah. So now you'll have those two tagged together. I don't know how well they'll gel, but, it is what it is. I'm excited. Hopefully he does go to the Desi Hit Squad because at that point, I just hate the gimmick. I hate the fact that international guys always have to do a certain thing. Like, if you're French, you shouldn't have to say oui and dance around. It drives me nuts. Just let these fucking guys wrestle. So hopefully, if he does go that direction, they just let these dudes wrestle. They don't have to be so pure Indian this and no, just let them get in the ring, beat people's ass, and do their thing.
So to make a UK reference, and I know he's no longer in Impact, but I know Chef and myself are big fans of Mr. Joe Hendry. And when Joe Hendry was there, when him and Grado were fighting the Desi Hit Squad, and he made that video, he called, I know Chef, you're not a fan of the Desi Hit Squad, but he actually called in the video the Desi Hit Squad the Super Shit Squad, which I thought was very funny. So Chef has got that Joe Hendry vibe that he thinks that they're the super.
Oh shit, Joe Hendry's a fucking savage. I didn't even see that.
It says it right there. If you guys go back and look at the videos on Impact Wrestling, when Grado and Joe Hendry are fighting them, he starts singing the song. He says that they're the tag team of the year, but they don't even wear matching gear. He writes Super Shit Squad right next to their name.
Holy smokes, that's some real savage shit.
I love that guy. He's brilliant.
So, Nicola, back to the matter at hand here. I got to ask you, because we got Chef's point of view, and that's his boy. It's our homie, who, by the way, is in great shape. He looks absolutely amazing. But I got to ask you your thoughts about Mahabali Shera coming back to Impact Wrestling.
Well, I'm actually with Chef because I'm not a big fan of the Desi Hit Squad. But with him coming back, I can see that being awesome. And I have missed his dance. I'm with Chef on that. I will start dancing again the minute he walks down the ramps. Every time he did, I would sit in my living room and I'd be doing the dance. And I still do, even if I see him now on different things. So it's like, yeah, I think it's a great thing he's back. And I think he will, obviously he's muscle, isn't he? So you've got the two of them. If he does go to Desi Hit Squad, that is. But yeah, he will do a lot of destruction because he was always quite strong and dominant, weren't he? So yeah, I'm loving the fact he's coming back. I can't wait to see him.
Well, yeah, he got that big push in the World Title Series like years ago. I mean, he was doing his thing. They saw something and they invested in him. And I mean, if you look at a Impact Wrestling GIF, one of the first GIFs you see is Mahabali Shera and Dixie Carter doing the dance. So I mean, dude's made an impression on a lot of Impact fans. He's evoking a lot of emotions. And it's a beautiful thing. So that's pretty much good.
Didn't he also win that? What the hell was it?
Oh, the tournament, yes, in India. You're right.
Yeah.
The Sony 6 tournament, yes.
There you go. I couldn't remember what it was, and I was like, I know he won some kind of cup thing or something like that, or...
Yeah, that was when Sanjay beat Low-Ki for the X Division title in that eye for an eye, because remember they were going for each other's eyeballs?
Yeah, please don't remind me.
Oh, bad day, that was...
Touchy subject. Touchy subject.
Touchy stuff. Don't go there, no.
Touchy subject. So, all right, we're going to get into this card, but before I even talk about the matches, one of the things you think that they would have on, but a certain individual, and we saw it on Impact, Eli Drake turning on Eddie Edwards after losing the tag title matchup to the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, takes out Eli, takes Kenny with him, hits him right between the eyes with Kenny. But Eli Drake has been terminated, so are we going to get Eli Drake versus Eddie Edwards at Rebellion, and that is the hoorah of Eli Drake, if you will? What do you guys think about the situation? And first, I'm going to go with Chef on this one. So, Chef, what do you think about them building this when Eli is gone, baby? I know it was taped in advance, but he gone.
So you're telling me
yes,
that there's a match that was booked in a month ago that's not going to happen?
Yeah, they taped this in advance that we were going to get Eli and Eddie Edwards at Rebellion, this whole heel turn. But yeah, so Eddie's terminated. He gone.
You know what? I mean, all jokes aside,
yes.
I mean, I know Impact does that. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. At least it's not the Orlando, 3 months of tapings. So I think it sucks, to be honest with you. First off, I think they're handling the Eli Drake situation like fucking bitches. Shit is driving me nuts. Like, I don't care how people feel. Slap a thumbs down. That shit doesn't faze me. I think they went upon it the entire wrong way. I think they've done him dirty. And the sad part is, and I love Eddie Edwards as a guy. Not a fan. I have to say this all the time because people get butthurt and emo. But it sucks for him because he was obviously going a different direction, with a whole new character, progressing in a different phase. And now, what do? Because obviously people felt a certain way. I don't care if Eli Drake fucked up. I don't care if Anthem fucked up. It sucks for the fans. And at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're fans of a product. And if it sucks for us, then I'm going to say it sucks for us. I'm never going to fucking be a promotion fan. I don't get down like that. So when you really look at it, if Eddie Edwards, because Eli Drake's not going to be there unless this is some fucking huge smoking gun swerve, which will fucking catch people by surprise, which I doubt. What does Eddie Edwards do? And if he goes heel versus someone else, does it really matter? Like, it'd just be some thrown together match that, oh, okay, Eddie Edwards is the heel now. And it's going to be no build up, zero. And it's just going to be, okay, sure, whatever. But it sucks for Eddie, and I feel bad for him because he's been in the company so many years. He deserves better than the mess that he's in now.
And I look at it like, first and foremost, if you want to see an angry Chef, go to October 2016 Impact Wrestling, where Eddie Edwards defeats Bobby Lashley for that Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Chef is not a happy man when Eddie Edwards gets his hands raised.
Is that... dude, I'm not even going to go on a rant. I'm really not.
Okay.
There is no heel Team 6 without Eddie Edwards.
There is not, absolutely.
I keep trying to tell people that, like, because of Eddie Edwards, heel Team 6 was made. You know what I mean? It was a group made to be anti-Eddie Edwards, and we just came up because there were 6 of us in heel Team 6. But at the end of the day, like, what I will always say is he handled that abuse real well. He handled it like a pro's pro, and I will always give him his respect because, we chanted some foul shit and all this other stuff, and he took it. There's times he laughed at us and, things like that. That's a pro's pro. But, yeah, I was absolutely fucking disgusted that he won that title when he won it.
And I just want to say to you, Chef, correlations and tie-ins, brother, to heel Team 6, baby. So, yeah, it all comes full circle. I love it. So, Nicola, your thoughts on, we saw it. We saw Eli Drake turn on Eddie Edwards after the Tag Team Championship matchup. I mean, we know he's terminated. We know it was taped in advance. But Eli Drake and Eddie Edwards, Impact Rebellion, he gone. What are your thoughts about the whole entire situation?
I'm the same with Chef, really, because, one, they've done this duo for ages now, and he's just turned on Eddie, and now everyone's expecting a fight between Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake. But as we know, Eli Drake has gone bye-bye. He's not there. So I do feel bad for him in a way, because obviously he was put on, he was going to have a match, but now who does he fight? The same as what Chef was saying. He can't, there isn't anyone to turn it, or he hasn't got anyone there's a storyline for him now, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah. And I see with other storylines that they're having, like, first and foremost,
yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, all right, so you have OVE. Now, we're going to predict the matches in a sec, because Rich Swann is taking on Sami Callihan for the X Division Championship. So, you look at the other members of OVE, like the Chris Brothers and Madman Fulton, and I'm like, Willie Mack's in the mix, but Willie Mack is over here on the side doing his thing with Killer Kross, and it's just like, whatever. And then you see Tommy Dreamer getting involved with that, but they took out Tommy Dreamer, so I'm like, are they going to go with Willie Mack and Madman Fulton at the pay-per-view? Are they going to do something with the Chris and Willie Mack and Tommy Dreamer? What's the dealio? What's going on there? So what are your thoughts about, I'll start with the lady on this one, Chef, and then I'll get your thoughts. What are your thoughts, Nicola, about this whole OVE, Madman Fulton and the Chris Brothers versus like Willie Mack, Tommy Dreamer, and what do you think about Killer Kross just being thrown in there with Willie Mack like that, just like that, a little JLT action? What are your thoughts?
I'm thinking Killer Kross is playing more and more mind games, and I think that because he's obviously, at the minute they've got the whole Johnny Tyre and the reffing, they kind of have pushed him aside, so he's kind of now playing mind games with other people. So at the minute it seems Willie Mack's his next target. And I love how Willie Mack has now twisted on him and gone, right, okay, I've had enough of you, I'm going to have a match, which obviously that'll happen soon enough. But as far as the OVE, they are more dominant now. Now there's more of them. But it seems to be that Sammy wants to try and get more to the OVE kind of thing. And Fulton scares me, the way Sami Callihan controls it. It's like a dog on a lead with him, isn't it, really? He just kind of keeps grabbing him by the hair and dragging him around. It's really unique way, put it that way. But I am liking the whole thing, yeah.
Chef, what are your thoughts about this Madman Fulton, Willie Mack, what we're going to possibly see with OVE, Willie Mack, Tommy Dreamer, the whole nine, what they're doing? What are your thoughts?
Okay, I've never been a big OVE person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on the fence with the Madman Fulton guy. I'm kind of like, he to me, he just feels big. Like, I've seen his work in NXT, and, I've seen him on some indie shows out here. He's all right, you know what I mean? Like, but when you look at the Chris brothers, Now, I don't think that they should have a microphone on them at all. That's where, and it's not me hating. Everybody knows they struggle on the mic. But in ring, these guys are fucking amazing competitors, right? Mm-hmm. Sami Callihan he can wrestle, he can fucking talk. He's a beast. Madman Fulton, live up to your name. You know what I mean? Like, but you got to be more dominant than your basic big guy. You know what I mean? Like, you got to start feeling more like Kevin Nash, with serious physical, strong style moves. And I don't need him to talk. He's a fucking big dude. You don't need him to talk. That's what you just give this microphone fucking to Sami Callihan. So I think it's okay. I think that the direction going forward, I think OVE is going to start. I think they're going to start their own apocalypse. I think they're going to take a lot of people out on the way to the top. I don't think Sammy's going to win the heavyweight, but at the same time, I can see Sammy winning the X Division belt, which, I mean, I don't even know what the X Division is anymore. So if that's the mid-card belt now, fine. It would be really interesting to see OVE get the tag belts and have OVE kind of, run a rump shot and taking over. Willie Mack, never been a huge fan of this guy. Really could care less. Tommy Dreamer, I don't know. Tommy Dreamer's cool if you don't see him a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen him for years, and it's at that point where you're like, there's no one younger to start pushing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not trying to be an age biased person because there are older wrestlers that I like, but I mean, let's face it, Tommy Dreamer's he's at the end of his career. You know what I mean? And he just seems to be everywhere nowadays. Like, every time you look up on anything, he's on some show. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, like, Impact, please, let's use people that you don't see everywhere else.
So, Chef is trying to get some more growth, and if I can bottom line this for Chef and put it in blunt terms, you're kind of very blasé about the entire thing. Is that a fair assumption, Mr. Chef?
Facts.
Love that word.
Well, on a side note, before we get into this, Chef, all right, now this man loves Sanity, and he was not happy with the Superstar shakeup because they split Sanity up. Eric Young is now on Raw, but I got to ask you, well, we don't even know what's up with Killian Dane. Is he SmackDown? Is he NXT? What are they doing with Killian Dane? But I got to ask you, Chef, I sent you the post. What do you think about Alexander Wolf? He said he was leaving, but he's not leaving to leave the company. He's leaving to go over to NXT UK, and he looks to be in a little faction there with Walter.
I was kind of okay. I hated Sanity breaking up. I love Sanity. Sanity was my shit. To be with Walter, that's cool. You know what I mean? I don't know where it's going. Obviously, no one does except for whoever's writing this stuff. But I don't think Walter needs any help. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is fucking huge. It is cool. I like the fact that he's kind of going back to his roots, the whole UK thing. You know what I mean? Like, let him go back there. Let him get his shine. Killian Dane, man, I swear, I hope this guy is still in WWE. If not, here's the thing. Let's just devil's advocate. Fuck WWE. Here we go. Let's just say he's a free agent. Impact, wake your fucking asses up for the second, third time you could have had this guy. If you bring Killian Dane into Impact Wrestling, because we're talking Impact, so why not? Let's just play fucking, what's that shit people want to do when they play the Booker bullshit?
Oh, the fantasy booking.
The fantasy booking. Mm-hmm. If you could bring Big Damo in, I will show you a big man who will run through Madman Fulton like if he was fucking butter. Because Damo, or, whatever you want to call him, I'll just say Damo because he was in the British boot camp at that point, so we'll just go with the name of Let's Play Hell shit. This guy is such a phenomenal performer. For his size, he moves around the ring like a cruiserweight. I'm not talking about jumping over the top rope or nothing like that, but he is so fluid in his movement. He can do anything. And I just love Damo. I want him somewhere where he can shine. I don't think Eric Young is going to shine neither. You know what I mean? There's so many guys that are on that roster, and I'm a big EY fan. Where does he fit? This, at least with the Alexander Wolf, NXT UK is about bringing people up. It's brand new, so he has a niche already where he could fall right in because he's already built a name with the Sanity. So he already has a leg up on other cats. Eric Young has to play catch up. Nikki Cross, you don't even really see her, and she's been out of Sanity forever, and you still don't really see her with the women. And then you have EY. Where does he fit? You know what I mean? So it absolutely pisses me off because Sanity was so raw that it should have just ran through everybody. That's just how I feel. Maybe I'm just, a mark for fucking Sanity, but fuck WWE for breaking up that group.
Well, you also bring into perspective, and it kind of comes full circle in your terms and your sentiments there, Chef Rowe, because I have to say this to you, sir. Well, Killian Dane and his wife, Nikki Cross, doing his thing on whatever, whether it be NXT, but I really hope they do something with both of them because they're amazing talents, but you put a scenario where you said he comes to Impact and he takes out Madman Fulton because there's history there. You can do the tie-in because Killian Dane was the one who took Sawyer Fulton, aka Madman Fulton's spot in Sanity in NXT when he got kicked out, and then WWE, gave him the old "we wish you well in your future endeavors." So there's history there, and Tommy Dreamer made it apparent to let Madman Fulton know that he was a part of Sanity because he took a little WWE jab there on this last week's Impact. So Chef, you're kind of onto something.
You see, I'm good. You see, this is why I love working with you, because I can say some wild shit and you pick up the pieces.
He's good at that. That's why.
You're welcome.
Oh, absolutely. This guy does it all the time, and this is why I really enjoy working with him, because I can make a reference that people will just hear what I say, and they won't think that extra step to it. Where with Larkin just that's why he's the professor. He just does what he does, and I don't know how he does it because I talk kind of crazy at times, but he's amazing.
Thank you. You got all three of you are. That's why we have a great team here. Now, Nicola, if you'd like to comment, because we get that UK flavor on it before we get into the pay-per-view, what are your thoughts about Alexander Wolf and NXT UK and the whole thing with the breakup of Sanity? Because NXT UK, Walter, Fabian Eichner's also in the group, Marcel Bartel. Do you have any comments about that? Anything?
A few, I suppose. Is this what you were just saying about Eli? Not Eli Drake. Eric Young. Was that? I have seen something on it, but I haven't followed it 100% on what was going on. I know there was a split, but I didn't know. I don't know much about the whole thing. I'm not a WWE fan.
Okay.
I don't watch anything.
That's all right. Yeah. Okay, but I figured it out. So cool. So Eric Young is on Raw now. Alexander Wolf, they moved to NXT UK, but he was putting out a tweet that everybody's thinking, oh, he's leaving the company, but no, he's just leaving to go to NXT UK. And Killian Dane and Nikki Cross are kind of on the back nine right now, so they just moved Alexander Wolf to NXT UK, and they moved Eric Young over to Raw, which, let's see what happens there. I mean, he's got a guy like Bobby Roode. I mean, hello, Team Canada, duh. And we also, EC...
Yeah.
And
Canada, yeah.
Exactly. And EC3's on Raw, which we'll be here all day with that because that guy just, I don't know. I just don't know. Just, poor EC3. But we'll be here all day with that. Let's jump into this Impact Rebellion. This is why we're here. It takes place April 28th, live on the Fight app. It's in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's at the Rebel Complex where they've done many events for Impact here. So I figured since we were talking a lot about OVE, we start with that matchup. We got Rich Swann, the now clean-shaven Rich Swann. I don't need no beard. My face is clean-shaven, and I'm a safe haven. So we got Rich Swann, clean-shaven at all, versus Sami Callihan for the X Division Championship. All right, here's how I see this. So you can have either put the kibosh in by Rich Swann retaining, or you can have Sami Callihan finally win the title, and, they have a nice feud with it. But we also got Johnny Impact, Johnny whatever my name is today, on the outside there. He has a future shot anytime, as we know, because he won the Ultimate X match at United We Stand. So if Rich Swann retains, we could have Sami Callihan beat him down afterwards, and then Johnny Impact cashes and says, hey, yo, I got a title shot. So then he beats Rich Swann, and Johnny Impact is the X Division and possibly Impact World Heavyweight Champ at the end of the night. But that's another scenario they could go with. But in this case, I'm going to say Rich Swann to retain to get that feel-good. Sami Callihan, we're done, we move on. Or, I don't know, but I think it's going to continue regardless. I'm going to say Rich Swann for the title retention here. He's going to retain that title. Clean-shaven it all, baby. Chef, let him know. Rich Swann or Sami Callihan?
Okay, I'm going to go for option heel team 6 on this one. And I'm going to say that Sami Callihan wins the X Division Championship.
Okay.
During the Johnny Impact Heavyweight title, as soon as whoever wins, because we'll get to that later, he cashes in, he pins him, becomes the new heavyweight champion at Rebellion, and there is no more options because the belt is open, so he can, I guess he could throw himself for an X Division shot because he won't be the heavyweight champion.
Yeah. All right. So, Nicola, Can you follow that? What are your sentiments? What do you think? Rich Swann or Sami Callihan, X Division title on the line?
Well, I said last time, didn't I? I wasn't a very big fan. Even though he has got a very clean-shaven face, I did notice that as well. And it took me a while to recognise him when he came out. Because I was like, who's that? But yeah, no, I'd say Sami, but I'm going with what you just said as well, Larkin, because you said about that Sami will appear later on. If he wins it, then he will appear and try it, or he'll try whoever wins the other match with Johnny and Cage. But yeah, Sami to win, definitely. But only because you know that storyline is going to carry on going. No matter what happens, he will still be trying to get Rich Swann to be a member of his family, even though Swann's made it clear he does not want nothing to do with it. But I don't see the end of that storyline happening anytime soon.
And pretty much what Nicola is saying is, it's kind of like, Rich Swann's WWE theme when he was there. Can you handle this? And Nicola, as it's very apparent with this, she cannot handle the fact that Rich Swann was clean shaven. So Nicola, you can handle this. You can handle this.
I can't handle the clean shaven. It doesn't look right on him.
So, all right, I'll be the lone man out and pick Rich Swann. So all good. So either way, we're going to be in for a treat. So now we're going to move on to the ladies. It's Taya Valkyrie defending that Impact Knockouts Championship against Jordynne Grace. Okay. So, with this, I think Taya's going to come out winning via chicanery and shenanigan means, and we're probably going to see a rematch at Slammiversary, but I also think this feud will continue in its own right. I'll let Chef go first on this one. Taya Valkyrie or Jordynne Grace, Chef?
No question, Taya Valkyrie, and I hope she fucking dominates from start to finish. I hope she just jobs this chick out. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Jordynne Grace or Jordynne Grace or however anybody wants to say it. And that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean she's a bad person or nothing like that. I'm just a fan of Taya, and I don't think that this chick is ready for that spot yet at all. So I hope she just dominates her in Toronto.
So what Chef is pretty much saying there, if I could bottom line this, he's all about that Team La Huera Loca, and he's picking that over Team Thick Mama Pump, if you know what I'm saying.
No question. That's exactly what I was thinking.
So I, too, am going to go with Taya. Miss Nicola, are you going to go with Taya Valkyrie, La Huera Loca, or are you going to go with Thick Mama Pump, that is Jordynne Grace?
Oh, I'm on the lonely ones then, because I'm going to go with Jordynne, only because she's just crazy. She's so, like I said before, she's really strong. She's very dominant. But I do love Taya big time as well. But at the minute, I can see her destroying her. And I can't explain to you why, but I do. Yeah, I can see her walking out knockouts champion. But that's just my opinion, though, isn't it? But yeah, I do see her walking away with the knockouts belt, the knockouts title. I do.
We're going to take a break from the card for a sec, because the other two things that they'll probably add to this. Now, first and foremost, we'll start with this one, because there's another ladies tie-in here I want to get to, but we'll start with this one. So Moose, for the last couple weeks, has been losing to the Rascals. He lost to, he beat Zachary Wentz, and he beat Trey Miguel, but he just lost last week to Mr. Desmond Xavier of the Rascals, so now Moose is looking to come at it. So how much you want to bet on this card we're going to get Moose versus the Rascals in a 3-on-1 handicap match?
Oh my God. If that happens, they better look really strong versus one guy. Because I know you want to make Moose look like the big dominant guy, but if you job these three guys out, it would be almost as horrific as when WWE did Ronda Rousey versus the Riot Squad.
Okay. Nicola, what are your thoughts on the Moose possibly taking on all three members of the Rascals 3-on-1 handicap at Rebellion?
I could see him winning it because every time, like, they all interfere, didn't they, when the three of them are fighting against him? But, I can see him very well. I don't know. I'm with Chef as well because obviously Moose is a lot bigger for a start, and then you've got them three who he just basically pushes across the floor. They literally run into him and they just bounce. Kind of thing. It's like, hold on, I'm going to run into your arm. No, I'm going to fly across the ring. So I can see him beating all three of them without even trying. But that doesn't mean I don't like the Rascals because I do love them people. But yeah, Moose would definitely dominate the three of them.
So here's how I kind of see it, because Rob Van Dam's coming back at these April 29 tapings. What we could possibly see here is we could see the Moose gets the win. He's beating down the Rascals. Then Rob Van Dam comes out and he goes after Moose because he's got to rep his boys in Team 420. Smoke weed every day, to quote the late great Nate Dogg. So we could see Team 420 coming to fruition with the Rascals and Rob Van Dam, and that could possibly lead to Rob Van Dam's first feud back in Impact against Moose. What do you guys think about that scenario?
I'll let her go.
Okay, go ahead, Nicola.
I was waiting for Chef to do his bad cop side. That's what I thought he was going to do then. Say it again. Sorry, I was listening, but it kind of swifted out of my head because I was looking at the sign at the same time.
Sure. You could have Moose win, and then he beats down the Rascals, and Rob Van Dam comes out. They form Team 420 because they're about that smoke weed every day. And RVD's first feud in Impact is Moose.
Yeah, I could say that. I'd like to say that as well, because after watching United We Stand, RVD shocked me. I did not expect to see him as strong as he was. Yeah, I can say, I think, them two definitely need to have they need to start something, the pair of them, because I could see that being pretty cool.
Okay, Chef, go ahead. Go ahead, say your sentiments. Go ahead, Chef.
You know what? I'm going to co-sign on everything she just said. Just sign my name on that check because I agree with it all.
I love it when he signs checks for living.
Gonna sign it with the Heel Team 6 logo. Boom. Stamp of approval. Okay. One other thing before we get back to the card. Rosemary and Su Yung. I think the big match will happen possibly as we go to Slammiversary, because they got this thing on the side here that they're doing because Kiera Hogan wants to help, but Rosemary's like, no, but Kiera Hogan's saying like, yeah, quoting a little Destiny's Child there. So we got Rosemary and Kiera Hogan. She took her out on Impact. Are we possibly going to see Rosemary versus Kiera Hogan? She disposes of Kiera Hogan. Then it's one-on-one, mano-y-mano, Rosemary and Su Yung. What are your thoughts, Nicola?
Oh, yeah, I was hooked to this because obviously Keira Knightley is not taking no for an answer, is she? She's literally following her around, trying to find out where she is. And then when she got to her, she was like, well, you're not listening, so I'm going to put you down. So, yeah, I can see a fight between them, but I can't wait to see her and Su Yung proper fight, because obviously, as we know, I love Rosemary, but I also love Su Yung, but I'm a Rosemary girl, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight, definitely that, but I'm looking forward to the fight between her and Kiera, because you can see it, because she's like, not listening, as Rosemary puts it, not listening like us humans apparently don't, but yeah, I can definitely see a lot of, there's going to be chaos, definitely. Because she's on a mad one at the minute, isn't she, Rosemary?
Yes, she
Doesn't
is.
matter who you are. I think you're going to be flying across the ring, doesn't matter who you are. Male or female, she will hit.
So, Chef, I got to ask, what are your thoughts about Rosemary, Kiera Hogan first, and then the big match for Rosemary and Su Yung at Slammiversary? Kiera Hogan, what's your slogan? What do you think, Chef?
All right, so here's how I see things, right? Like, I used to think that Rosemary was the demon character, right? And now I think she's more of an emotional train wreck because she got her best friend killed. So maybe she doesn't want to get her other best friend killed and Kiera Hogan, so she's trying to protect her. So her emotional side, listen, she's in her feelings right now. So she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't want no one else to get hurt because of her what is it, the shadow of valleys or whatever it is.
The shadows, the shadow, Chef.
Yeah,
You're
whatever comes involved. I mean, let's face it. She had one homie. Well, no. Here we go. Let's go backwards real quick. So she came in with the K. LAX killed those people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last time we seen them, LAX murdered them. So they are no longer in the company. Why? Because they're dead. So her first two people, gone. Allie comes involved. What happens to Allie? Allie gets fucking Freddy Kruegered in the neck and killed, right?
Yup.
Okay. So the three people that were in the same kind of vicinity and riding out with her are vanquished. She's trying to protect Kiera Hogan. But I think it would be a whole lot cooler if while they're wrestling, Su Yung kind of just, music pops. She stands at the top of the ramp. Doesn't even got to do shit. Kiera Hogan beats her. All of a sudden, Kiera Hogan is one of her undead brides.
I like the
I
twist.
think that'd be Yeah, I think that'd be pretty fucking cool because it gives Kiara Hogan a different direction, and it also gives Rosemary that, climb back to the top because now she's gonna fight her way all the way to the top. She'll go through all the Undead Brides. She'll go through Su Yung, then eventually she'll go through Taya or Tessa Blanchard. I think it could be a really cool thing going forward.
So Chef is pretty much saying like what Kiera has alluded to, the darkness will consume Kiera, and she goes with Su Yung like she did Ali. Su Yung doing her convulsions. Yeah, first and foremost, I got to give you big ups on that.
Face it, if you hang out, if you hang out with Rosemary too long, you're dead.
Yeah, I feel you. And also, Chef, I got to say this on a sidebar here. I didn't know that you were a big R&B fan because you just put out a little Carl Thomas reference there. You're saying Rosemary's emotional and she can't let you go, man. I like your style. Taking it back to 2000. Got to give you some love on that.
Dude, I love my R&B, man. Sometimes you got to be emotional. You got to sing in your feelings. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. He knows.
Listen, there's nothing bad to go in the shower and sing some Jodeci or 112 or Blackstreet. Sometimes you just got to serenade. You know what I mean?
Come and talk to me. I really want to know your name. Yep, I feel you. There it is.
This is a different podcast, brother, but woo-wee.
All right. So we'll get back to the ladies here because we got another women's match right here. We're talking about Gail Kim. We're talking about Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard going to, quote-unquote, Robert Irvine's 4-star restaurant, throwing gravy, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce. Woo! It's like the Geico commercial. She's just tearing it up in that restaurant. So, all right, here's my thing here. We're in Gail Kim's hometown of Toronto, Canada. For the love of God, she should not win this match. It should be Tessa winning. Gail needs to pass the torch. So I'm just going, hopefully we go the right way here, and Tessa Blanchard wins, because Gail Kim's saying, oh, she reminds me of me when I was young. This is the future. It's Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard has to win. Buzzsaw, TDT, whoop-ah. 1, 2, 3, Tessa Blanchard wins. Nicola, are you going Tessa or are you going Gail Kim?
I'm going Tessa because I agree with everything you've just said, because I don't want to see her win, because obviously, as you said, the Tessa thing with the restaurant thing, that seems to be a familiarity. I can't say it now. Familiarity.
It's a familiar angle, familiarity. Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, that one. It's that, and it's been seen before, if you know what I mean, like when it was Gail Kim versus Tara Terrell.
Yep.
They did the same kind of thing where she went in and she was harassing her Gail Kim's step. So it's kind of really cool because it's very familiar, but I do want to see Tessa win because, Tessa to win.
Chef?
Okay. I was definitely going Tessa at first until you told me about the disrespect of her. First off, it's not a 4-star restaurant. It's a 5-star restaurant.
Well, that's what they said in the promo, man.
I understand it. No, I understand that, but I get a little offended with that because not only that, but a lot of people might not know he has a Michelin star. Mm. So to be disrespectful enough to go at this guy's culinary career, where Robert Irvine is one of my favorite chefs in the entire world.
Very talented.
Very, very. I mean, if anybody watches Dinner Impossible, first off, here's a former British SAS guy. Like, this guy is a military-trained guy. I mean, I don't know. The disrespect to me, and I know it's cliche shit. I know it's not real. They're probably all besties and all that other good shit. But I got to respond like a fan because that's what we do. It's not fun if we respond like normal people thinking logically. So, let's face it, I like to cook. I'm very passionate about cooking. So if you're going to take shots at people that I'm inspired by, I have to go against you. So I'm going to go with the fucking Terminator of knockouts. You know, the one who will never lay down for anyone. I'm going to go with Gail Kim.
Okay. So, first and foremost, I was not expecting that. I like the Terminator of the knockouts thing. That was a nice little twist. But I got to say this to you, and I'm going to make a joke here, but it's probably not the reason. They probably said 4-star because if it was 5 stars, and somebody would have to call Dave Meltzer. But anyway, I digress.
Fuck Dave Meltzer too.
I know, fuck him and fuck you too. I like it. I like your style. So,
definitely.
So we're gonna move on to the 2 big matches on this show. We're talking about the Impact World Tag Team Championships are on the line. It's Full Metal Mayhem. It's the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. versus LAX, the team Ortiz and Santana. Yeah, I think everybody wins in this match. I think they're gonna tear the house down. I am going to say that this is a tough one because we went either way. I'm going to say Lucha Brothers retain, but I will not be shocked if LAX wins because I like both teams. I'll let you go first, Chef, because I know this is one that you're very much looking forward to.
extremely excited for this. See, I love Pentagon. I love Phoenix. Love LAX. No question. What I'm hoping for is I'm hoping somehow, and I know it's so probably never going to happen again, but I hope somehow Diamante comes back, gets involved, and LAX wins. I think that would be super fucking cool. Realistically, I don't think it's going to happen, so I'm going to say LAX wins. It's going to be an amazing match. Doesn't matter who wins. This is one of those matches, like we said before, like this is just one of those matches that the fans always win because it's going to be a great match. But I think LAX goes over here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else you could do because LAX dominated for a long time, but I could see them not having the belts and still do their thing. And I think Pentagon and Phoenix are fucking amazing as tag champs, and they could keep it going longer. But at this point,
what you thinking, Chef? Okay, Nicola, before we get back to Chef, who are you going with, LAX or Lucha Brothers?
I'm the same as you. I love both teams. Both of them are very, very, very strong, and Lucas are just crazy. No matter what way you look at it, but so are LAX. So it's really tough call, but I'll go with Lucha Brothers but only because you know that the LAX thing with them will carry on anyway, even after this Metal Mayhem. They will find another way to make them all collide again. But it's going to be a brutal match to watch. And there's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of blood, and I can't wait to see it, really. There's the one match I am super excited about seeing. Because you know it's craziness, no matter what.
I was waiting for the blood to come out in you because I know how hardcore you are about the blood and the fighting. So
I love blood. Yeah, there's going to be blood, don't worry. It's going to be Pentagon that's got it the most. But you won't be able to tell because he'll have the mask on, so you won't see it, but there'll be blood everywhere, trust me.
Oh my goodness. All right, well that brings us to the main event. First, let me see if we can get Chef. Chef, are you going with LAX or the Lucha Brothers? Okay, we'll get Chef back on in a second. So we'll go to the main event before we get to Chef's opinion. Johnny Impact versus Brian Cage, singles match for the Impact World Championship. Lance Storm is the special guest referee. Now, we are in Canada. We are in Storm Wrestling Academy country. Lance Storm, I think he's got a lot of knowledge to give to these youngins as a producer, and obviously he's very good friends with Don Callis. I think this is a scenario where we have Johnny Bravo, who's like the dangerous Danny Davis, as the the referee that's very sneaky and helping him out, like we saw with Chop Block and Brian Cage's leg. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Johnny Impact retains because he gets over on Lance Storm. Because we saw in the interview he can get over anybody and go after Cage's family, his friends, his girlfriend, whatever. So I'm gonna say Johnny Impact retains and Lance Storm screws Brian Cage. How about you, Nicola?
I'm going different. I want to see Brian Cage absolutely destroy him. I seriously want to see Cage win because you know my feelings on Johnny Impact or whatever his name is right now because obviously he changes it every 30 seconds. But, yeah, definitely Brian Cage, without a doubt, because he's been trying, but as you said, Johnny can get over on anyone. So he managed to get over on that ref. How do we know he's not going to get over on the other one? I can see there's going to be something else, someone else, or they'll have someone in the background that can come and disturb the match completely. So I'm going to say Cage, but my head is still like, well, no, so it's going to be twisted. There's going to be more to it.
Okay, now before we get back to the main event, Chef, are you going LAX or the Lucha Brothers?
I'm definitely going to go with LAX. For the simple fact that I think LAX should be the champs because we all know that the Lucha Brothers are on, the Lucha Brothers are on AEW. So I think that they should keep the belts on guys that you're not seeing on MLW, AEW, AAA. You know what I mean? Like all these companies that they're in, LAX is their product, so I'm going to pick them.
And we were just talking about, we're up to the main event, Chef. It's Johnny Impact, it's Brian Cage, Impact World title on the line, Lance Storm as the special guest referee. We were saying that Johnny Bravo's like the dangerous Danny Davis, very, shisty and very, the shenanigans wise, and he's hanging out with the heel Johnny Impact. Johnny Impact said that he could get, he could get to Brian Cage's girlfriend, he could get to his family, he could get to his friends, he can get to whoever because he's Johnny Impact. He's the champ. He holds the power. He holds the gold, man. So I'm going to say with this one, Johnny Impact somehow gets to Lance Storm, and Lance Storm screws Brian Cage, so I'm saying Johnny Impact retains. And I know, Nicola, you said that you want Cage to win, but you kind of see, like, what I'm saying, that Johnny Impact's going to retain through some nefarious means?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do. I don't. He's, because of the way, like you said, he's threatened his family, he's threatened his child, all of that. That's just obviously more to wind him up and get him more aggravated and more, right, well, I really want to do, like, he really wants to destroy him. But yeah, I do see something else hidden. I can see it, like a twist somewhere. Someone else going to come out, interfere, or as they do when it comes to them at the minute. Definitely seems that way.
So Nicola's channeling her inner Weekend. She can feel it coming, baby. So I got to ask you, Chef.
Yeah. my inner fan's coming out, yeah.
So, Chef, are you going to go with Johnny Impact or Brian Cage? World title's on the line. Lance Storm's the ref.
Do I have to pick one of these guys?
You don't have to. This is your opinion. So go ahead. What's your scenario? What's the scenario, Chef?
Ooh, see, a lot of people don't know about that one either. I'm definitely going to go back to my Sami Callihan option, because I really don't want to see none of these guys as champions. So hopefully Sami does cash in. Hopefully Sami does get the belt. And, at the end of the night, you have OVE standing in, the middle of the ring looking fucking serious as shit. But, I mean, if I have to pick out of Morrison and Cage, I'm going to go Morrison just because I don't believe in Cage. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not a fan of this guy. So I'll go with Impact Mundo Morrison, the man of a million names. I'll go with him.
So the Chef is pretty much saying, yo, whatever the fuck you call yourself, I'm going to go with him. Is that a fair assessment there, Chef?
The next time we talk about a match that I don't want to do, I'm just going to be like, can you tell them how I feel?
He's good at that, isn't he?
Oh, my God. Oh, you have no idea. There's time. Like I said, we're going to wind up putting you in this chat, and you're going to see how, like, there's times where he'll post something and he'll be like, audio coming soon. And like in a few seconds, like he'll say how I would react to it. And I'll just throw like a thumbs up or a love because it's exactly what I was thinking.
It's the hashtag voice clip ahead is what it is. It's the hashtag voice clip ahead. So that is your rebellion. We're going to see more shows coming. Now, one thing I actually forgot to ask you guys. So they're going to be doing they have two big, like specials that they come. They've partnered with Reality Championship Wrestling, which I think is quite interesting because for those that don't know, RCW in Texas, that is Booker T and his brother Steve Ray, Harlem Heat's promotion. And now I think it's kind of funny because Booker T on Heated Conversations, his radio show, did not say too kind things about his tenure in TNA, and Scott D'Amore was in TNA when Booker T was there. So they've partnered. They got House of Glory for their show in May as well, so I think those are two big ones. So I'm going to ask you, Chef, first and foremost, what do you think about House of Glory and Reality Championship Wrestling? I'm talking about Booker T, his promotion in Texas, along with Stevie Ray. What do you think about those two partnerships coming up?
I think that's really cool. I don't know a lot about Booker T's group. Now, I love Booker T. I've loved him since WCW. I love Harlem Heat since WCW. I don't know a lot about his promotion. I do know about House of Glory, which is called Hog. But regardless of what, Booker T is a big name. I don't know if his promotion is big or no matter what. Booker T puts his name on something, you'll have a buzz about it. So with them, with them coming together, I think it's a beautiful thing because, listen, partnerships are amazing. If Impact was smart, and I keep saying this, use your fucking partnerships. Bring in other people's tag teams to develop your tag teams and, things like that. Impact has all these partners, and the partners realistically look like for Onos. You know what I mean? They just feel like one-night onlys for these partnerships. And it's like, start bringing in some of the talent. Once in a blue, bring this guy versus this guy or whoever. You know what I mean? Like, start using other people's talents as well.
And I will say this, you mentioned not knowing Reality Championship Wrestling. So for those who are fans of Ember Moon in the WWE, you could thank Booker T for that. Just saying. So there's a little bit of his star power, but he's had a lot of people. But Ember Moon is the recent one that comes to mind. So I got to help you out a little bit, Chef. Let you know. Put you up on something, man. I'm like Black Rob. Whoa. Taking it back to 99.
Whoa.
Whoa is right. So Nicola, what are your thoughts about House of Glory and Reality Championship Wrestling Booker T's promotion partnering up with Impact?
I agree with Chef, but also I don't know a lot about it. I do know who Booker T is, and I'm very much aware, but I'm not too 100% on what the chemistry is. But I do agree with putting new people in Impact from different companies and all of that kind of thing. So, yeah, but I'm not 100%, so sorry about that.
That's okay. Now, the last thing I guess I could say, because we've been seeing the vignettes, and I believe they're debuting this week. By the time you guys listen to this, they've already debuted. The Deaners. Cody Deaner is coming back, and Jake something, who is Jake Deaner, his cousin. The Deaners. A lot of people are kind of comparing them to the Briscoes, Dem Boys, which, okay, I think they're kind of like a bootleg version of that, but that's all right. So, and I like both teams. I think there's a lot of talents there, but what do you think about the Deaners? I'll start with you, Nicola, because they are coming. Just give her, you know what I'm saying? Yee!
I love them. I saw when they were promoting them, and I just can't stop laughing. They are so funny. They look like two hillbilly. Honestly, seriously, they are funny to watch, especially when they're like hitting beer cans against our heads and stuff like that, and one of them slapping the other one in the chest. Yeah, no, I can't wait to see them. They look brilliant, very funny, very comedian-wise. You know what I mean? Comedic. There you go. Yeah.
So Chef, what do you think about the bootleg Briscoes? And in all seriousness, what do you think about the Deaners?
I think they're all right.
Yeah.
I mean, the hard part is when you want to label somebody, oh, this is like when they do it in basketball all the time, this is the next Jordan, this is the next Vince Carter, this is the next whatever. It sucks because you're never going to live up to those expectations. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I hope they do well, to be honest with you. I really don't see. Can you, all right, here's a question to you guys. Could you see the Deaners beating LAX, the Lucha Brothers, or any of those kind of groups?
They kind of remind because they kind of remind me, if you actually look at it, look like the Highlanders were in WWE in 2005, 2006. Yeah. They're like the Bushwhackers. They're a comedy team, so it's like no. So that's
definite not.
That's a big no from us, Chef. So, another team I got to ask you guys about. What do you think about Josh Alexander? They put him with Ethan Page, the North. What do you think about All Ego and Josh Alexander as the North? I'm going to start with you, Nicola.
I'm not keen on Ethan Page at all. And every week he doesn't. I seem to be like going away from him because he's not one of my favourites, unfortunately. I like all wrestlers, but he's not one of my favourites. But we'll see, kind of thing. I've got hopes for him, but it's, half and half with them two at the minute.
And, Chef, what are your thoughts about the North, the team of Josh Alexander, the Walking Weapon, and All Ego Ethan Page? I guess Chef doesn't have any thoughts on that. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll go. That's actually kind of what I had there for that. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to promote my stuff. You can check out at SM Show 1 or at MCL92 on Twitter. The SoundCloud is MCLarkin92. And the website is www.stephenmikeshow.com. And you can check out the Bodega Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, Bodega Wrestling Podcast, Twitter, Bodega Wrestling Podcast, and so on and so forth. You can check out Chef at Infamous Chef on the Twitter machine. You can check him out on Instagram doing his thing. So that is me helping out and promoting Chef as he has unfortunately dropped from the call. So Nicola, the floor is yours, my lady. What are your Twitter and your Instagrams?
If you want to follow me on Twitter, is Nicola Mac 853, and that's about it because obviously that is the main place where you'll find me to do with wrestling and stuff like that. So that is the only one. I do have Instagram, but I don't know it off by heart yet. I'm working on it.
Okay, fair enough. So first,
and obviously everyone else. We had Size Bodega and all the other podcasts that you're all involved with. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'll be linked with everything, and I think that's the beautiful thing about social media. So if you don't know now, you know. I'm quoting the Notorious B.I.G. I'm talking a little juicy here, which, there's a lot of pop culture references just being made in this show today, and it's absolutely awesome.
No, it really has, yeah.
It's absolutely awesome. So, guys, I'd just like to thank you all very much for listening, and first and foremost, I got to say to you, Miss Nicole, welcome to the family.
Thank you very much. It's a huge honour. Thank you for accepting me. Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. So before we close out, I just want to say, for Nicola, for Chef, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you all for listening to another edition of the Bodega Wrestling Podcast. And for those viewing Impact Wrestling Rebellion this Sunday, live on pay-per-view and the Fight app. Enjoy, and thank you all so much for listening, and the three of us will talk to you next time.